I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And we back. So we had the last 2 weeks. The first week was, I was going to be a tired boy because I was leaving the next morning, like super early for spring break.
Right.
And then we had like a stupid ice storm, like a crazy ice storm.
Crazy ice storm.
This past Sunday. So we're recording a couple days late for this Sunday. Yeah, the ice storm was nuts.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
It was.
Beautiful. Like I was driving down the road yesterday when the sun was out, like it was like glass. Like everything looked so cool.
At sunset, it was really cool. Like all the trees just had that little bit of ice on them. Like it's just like a layer, just, looks like droplets on the ends and everything. And then you hear the wind rustle and like clink, clink, clink,
Yes.
clink, 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 clink.
Yes.
Like, that was crazy. And unfortunately, it did do a lot. The ice did do a lot of damage.
Sure
There's
did.
a lot of down trees. It was in the news. One of our bigger orchards, a lot of trees are damaged for them, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people without power for like a day at least. I mean, some people a couple hours, some people a day. So yeah, I don't know. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I
Kind of this weird, like, I don't think we've seen weather like this in Wisconsin in a long time.
Not in a while, yeah. I mean, we've had heavy snow that's knocked us out and everything, but this ice storm was something different. But it was really weird because, what day was it? Saturday, I went down to Green Bay, and that's the day when it was like supposed to like really start turning, and it was just wet. There was no ice there or anything. I was like, I know we're supposed to get crazy weather here in a couple of hours, but no problem getting down there and back, which was nice. Yeah, and then all of a sudden Sunday morning, I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Well, so we were driving back from Bentonville, and we were coming in Saturday. It was about 5 o'clock. I hit the Wisconsin border. And then we got a call from somebody that was here. It was like, hey, you just need to stop and somewhere and then not come up because we're supposed to have this crazy ice storm. Roads are supposed to get horrible. So I was like, well, yeah, my entire family's in the car, so may as well. But I was also then I talked to someone in Green Bay, and they're like, yeah, it just rained. I was like, we could have got to Green Bay at least,
Oh, yeah.
And then I would have just taken it slow home, and I would have been home by midnight probably. And but we ended up just continuing on Sunday. We got here Sunday, but I'm glad we stopped, but also not. Like, I wish we wouldn't have. But the ice storm was nuts, though. Like, as we were driving up, I'm like, it's not bad, it's not bad. And all of a sudden we hit like just south of Sturgeon Bay.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting. Like, it was maybe it was north of Sturgeon Bay. But I remember all of a sudden there was just like ice everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, things didn't really get crazy like until probably midnight Saturday, midnight Saturday going into Sunday. You could hear the rain. It was super heavy. I think I was home during the weekend by myself because Alyssa took the kids down to Chicago just to like go hang out with some people. And I think Friday night we got a pretty good just rainstorm, thunderstorm, because I saw some lightning and heard thunder and kept me up for a while. And then it stopped. And we had a lake in our backyard for about 2 days.
Sure.
Just because that's just how our land is, and it's just weird. Yeah, and then the ice storm. And so, yeah, we had a couple branches on the back of our property crack off. Neighbor had a tree that split in half, so that was pretty crazy. And then our other neighbor, he has some canoes laying outside, and he had a bunch of branches come down on his canoes, and then some other stuff fall on. I think he's got like a little shack to keep his lawnmower and stuff. That stuff fell in there. So, not in like a couple roads over, somebody had some pretty big branches fall and took out the power line down by his house. So that knocked out the whole block. The whole block.
Yeah. Like, thanks, Steve. Yeah, so we lost power here too, but it wasn't, like I said, we have a generator, so we just lost internet for the most part. Really, it didn't really change much for us. But yeah, there's a lot of people that were out for a long, long time. Like my sister-in-law was like 2 days almost. She was out, and she's in Bailey's, So, yeah. But yeah, it's nuts. But what it is just all these branches. They've actually cleaned our entire road up just before this ice road happened. They were cutting all the branches and stuff. The highway department. So good thing they did that. But yeah, it's just ice gets heavy and breaks branches and they break
Yeah.
lines, and even the lines have ice on them. Like
Yeah.
when we were driving up, I was like, man, that's crazy. All the ice, like all the power lines and communication lines were all just like crystally, and like it was beautiful but crazy.
So yesterday is Alyssa, my wife's birthday. So we like for birthdays, we like get food out, like what do you want to eat? So got food from Husby's, which is a local bar, like restaurant in the area. And the guy who brought me our takeout, he, just asked everything about us losing power. And I asked him and everything. He's like, no, but they had some WPS workers come in the
Sure.
restaurant, and everybody kind of gave him a round of applause, like standing
that's
ovation
awesome.
for being out and working.
Yeah. I mean, it's dangerous conditions too. I mean, especially working with power. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. But I saw, as I was driving down, it was Monday, I saw a bunch of more trucks coming up to start helping with power. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the day in life in Door County. And then we have potentially another 2 to 4 inches tonight. I've seen it go down though. I've seen it, depending on what app you look at.
Okay.
Seeing up to an inch, but followed by rain, which is supposed to go away pretty quickly.
It's supposed to be pretty warm tomorrow.
It's supposed to be pretty warm, like in the upper 30s potentially.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll amount to much, but typical springtime open fashion.
Very much so.
Always just like, we've had a couple years that were absolutely gorgeous, but we've had 21 inches of snow.
Yep.
We've had, and all like leading up to it, just beautiful time. But it looks like the weather for the weekend is supposed to be great.
I think so.
In the 40s and fairly sunny for the most part.
Okay.
So looks like the weekend's going to be great. So we have the springtime open here in Bailey's Harbor. And it's just going to be a good time. I mean, it's always a good time. We got a food truck this year. So, and then Josh, and then we got everything's going to be set up and ready to go. So, but not full.
Excellent.
So the registration just for disc golf is just slow.
Yeah.
There's so many options right now. And I think just the number of disc golfers is lower than they've been in the past. As far as tournament playing disc golfers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm sure, like, if you see people at the course recreationally, but yeah, as far as tournaments go,
Right.
yeah, it's tough going
Yeah,
for
it's just,
TDs.
it's just not there. I mean, even the Wisconsin tour stops, you're looking at some of them, and some of them aren't filling up. Like Prairie's filling up, but outside of that, there's really nothing else that's really filling up, and you're just like, wow, that's abnormal for tour stops that way. So, but it is what it is. So I might play in my first tournament in 2 years
That's crazy.
on Saturday. So, because we don't have anything and I don't need to be an assistant TD, so I just might actually play. Be fun. Just go throw really hard and really far for my first tournament. And
Yeah.
First time I played in how many months? Yeah.
gnarly.
Probably be a bad idea, but I might go play. I might play. I'm listed to play as of right now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to play or not. So I'll give you an update next week.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't give you an update next week.
Sunday rolls around, you're like, oh, I played it. It was a really bad idea.
I played. I can't lift my arm. So we'll see. Yeah, because I have been having some shoulder issues, but the entire time in Bentonville, it was fine. Had no issues with the shoulder, like riding. Obviously, I'm not throwing, but just riding, and had no problems at all. So, so what have you been doing over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I played disc golf.
Ooh,
Yeah.
got it. I saw the picture on Instagram, I think.
Yeah, I went to Pamperin, and I went to Perkins, and then I stopped at Door Disc finally.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. What'd you think?
It's nice.
Isn't it?
It's big.
It is big.
Yeah, I was surprised at how big it is. I've
that's
only
what she
seen
said.
videos. Got to mess around with Tech Disc and the simulator.
The link, yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It is. It is. Do you feel the same way? Like when I described it, like it's a good golf simulator. Like it's not bad.
No, it's not.
It's not great. It's just good.
I was talking with Matt, and I had pretty good conversations about things we. He said he talks with the Link guys a lot.
Yes, he
because he's
does.
dealing with it, and just giving my ideas for the beta because it's still the alpha. Are they in
We were
beta?
the alpha.
The alpha.
They're
Yeah,
in beta
the
now.
Yeah. So I will say that there's two courses he like let me try. One was a wooded thing, and then the other was like a canyon or something. And one of the holes you tee off from a helicopter
Yeah.
or like
yeah.
a spaceship or something.
Yeah. It's all
And-
like Star Wars themed. Not Star Wars.
It's just
Yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah.
And then
They use the Unreal Engine for it.
yes, that's what that's what he told me. I was like, really? The Unreal Engine. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the backgrounds are great, like the mountains and trees and everything. And he's like, if you hit branches, nothing happens. But if you hit a tree trunk, you're going to kick or
Yes.
do something like that. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, interesting. The only really hard part with it was putting. Very unintuitive. He's like, you see that dot? I was like, okay, try to aim for that. Because if you go nose down, you're going to end up just going 3 feet in front of you.
Yes.
So you really have to aim nose up with the disc. And basically there's this little green circle around the basket.
Yeah.
And if you're within it, they just kind of give it to you.
Yep.
So I don't know. It'll be cool if they can get real courses, which Tech Disc actually kind of has that going for them. He loaded something up. He loaded a couple holes. One of the holes was hole 16 at Champions Landing. I was like, ooh, this is cool. And then there's another island hole, I think, at Maple Hill. I don't know if it was hole 8 or what the hole was, but you could go through and load up a couple holes. I was like, this is really cool.
There is a stark difference between the gameplay in Link and then the gameplay in Tech.
Yes.
Big difference in those two.
Yeah, I just threw in Tech Disc. He was just kind of going through and showing me some of the holes and stuff. I played maybe 2 or 3 holes in the Link, but I just did basic field throwing in Tech Disc, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The one thing that I was really impressed with was, so there's 4 discs. There's the Buzz. I think you guys had a Force. I don't know. It's basically mid-range putter fairway. So he gave me a Buzz, and he's like, okay, check this out. You're throwing the Buzz, but you can go through in that program and say you want to throw a Force, and you can still throw the Buzz, but the numbers will be as a Force,
Right.
so, which is just wild to me.
Yes.
That's one of the coolest things that you can go through, and it's mainly just Discraft discs or whatever. But I was like, that's wild that you can do that.
So, and that's set up per Matt's bag / what we have, because we have the Force Undertaker,
Okay.
Buzz, and then
I forgot what
the putter.
I don't know what
whatever
it is.
the putter is.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a roach or something like that. Probably not a roach.
I don't even remember what it is,
Yeah.
but I rarely Luna. It's a
Luna, yeah. Okay.
So, and it's wonderful because you can set it up however you want to. So you can turn that Luna into a judge. You can turn it into whatever you want to turn it into. And then, but like if you're just goofing around with the Undertaker, let's say, and you're like, well, man, I wonder what, like, because I think one of the holes was 17 at DD at Champions Landing, 16, that hole. And then that hole, the island hole there, you're like, oh, okay, I can throw a putter. Okay, what would it look like if I threw a Buzz, or what would it look like if I threw and you can just choose the disc you want to do and just keep that same disc in your hand.
Yep, exactly. That was really cool.
Because it picks up the nose angle and all that stuff. So it's kind of neat. I mean, and it will mess rotation wise. It does mess up because you can't put as much rotation on a Buzz as you can on a Force or a Destroyer or something like that. But it's just a spin that it's going to mess with. That's it. So, but I mean, every time I go down there, I always throw a couple holes, and I like it more and more. I mean, I think it's a great game. It's a really great game. So, has some work to be done, but it's a great game. Another thing, and I didn't tell you about this yet, but we got an email, and they have an esports game coming out. Not Link, but a disc golf esports game.
Oh.
See if I can find the email again, or if we filed it. But since like kind of how we were working with Link and getting out on social and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They sent us an email about it, but essentially it's going to be on the computer, the PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo.
Dang.
And it's going to be up there. And from what I understand, it's like ready. They're playing it right now, and they're going to do a big drop pretty soon. And I don't remember the detail. If I can find the email, I'll read it. But there is a like a true esports game coming out for disc golf. So
Cool.
And it looks pretty good. So I'm not sure who's making it or however it goes. I can't find it real quick, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure who's making it or what, but it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm impressed by it. So, no, that's not it. Darn it. I was like, that's it. Oh, okay. Oh. No. Okay.
All right.
So, but that's pretty neat, though. So, Door_disc_golf, Night_owl_pod, and then DoorDisc.com, where you can get all your disc golf needs. We have a crud ton of tournaments coming up. First one coming up, obviously, is the springtime. Now, that's not our tournament. It's Josh Ham from Riverside Disc Golf, but we helped set it up. We've been just kind of tag teaming it for a long, long time. I think this is year number 9 that we've done it.
Wow.
So, and there was one year that was canceled with Rona. But the first year we started out, snow on the ground, like 7 people.
Yeah.
Winds were blowing.
That was crazy.
It was nuts. Winds were blowing at like 95 miles an hour. It was essentially like, I'm surprised people came back. Yeah, it was crazy. And I think we had 14 people is what ended up happening.
Yeah.
Who showed up. Because I think we had like 30 something registered and then only 14 people showed up.
I remember sinking, I threw my disc in just a snowbank.
Yeah.
And I went to go get it. And I was like walking on top of the snow and I sunk down to my waist. It landed in a bunker and I had no idea it was a bunker. And you guys were, since I was playing MA3 at the time, you guys were ahead of us, and Tyler had a shovel with him, just digging out tee pads, and just gnarly.
Yeah, it was, and we kind of took turns. And I remember like having to trudge through, and I remember just being out of breath, and it was horrible, like fun. I'm glad we did it. Never want to do something like that again.
Right.
I don't know why we decided to play on, because he was like, we should just cancel it. And we're like, we're here, let's play, you know?
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, and then we have the Shorewood, which is the following weekend. So that is the new Kale LaVisca designed course at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. We're running a tournament there, and that thing's filling up pretty darn quick.
Oh, is it?
Which is great, yep. And then, man, there's just, and it goes on and on. And then, so I think we have 11 total tournaments this year. It might be a few more. But yeah, they're all going to be in the Green Bay area. And then we cap it off with the Fall Classic, which is Mike Harrington's at the Orchards. So
yeah. Well, there's the tour stop, right, in Wausau? Or was it Mosinee or something like that?
Yeah, it's Wausau area.
Yeah, Wausau area, yeah.
Yeah, so, and he's going to do that as well. He's got boots on the ground there. So it looks like everything should be good to go in May. But that tour stop, it is what it is. They're just not filling up as quick.
Yep.
But everything's looking good. So custom trophies for the ones that will win. They'll be customized to the winners. And then we've just been doing good with some of the sponsorships are coming through. So everything's coming along. Matt's doing an awesome job with all that stuff. So and I think outside of that, I don't know if there's really much else. Just look for new drops that are coming on DoorDisc.com. And then we do have our address on DoorDisc.com now. We didn't have the address on DoorDisc.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was just like, I was on it the other day because we were doing something for tax. And I just couldn't remember the zip code. And I was like, oh, what's the zip code? Just jump on the website. And I jumped on and was like,
it's not.
There's nothing here. Like, how are people finding us? So, but it's one of those overlooks when you proof the new website from everybody that knows what the store is. That's not something they think about. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's fun.
Well, actually, I did that the other day. I was scrolling through the website as well, and I got down to the bottom. I was like, there's no like contact or anything down there. Like,
nothing. Oh. Yeah, there's no way to get in contact. It's just there's the email. I mean,
Yep.
there's the website. That's it. So yeah, so putting contact information on the website will be coming soon if it's not already done. But I think outside of that, I don't know if there's any new or exciting updates. So, oh, I don't know if I said what I did over the couple of weeks.
What did you do?
I went to Bentonville, Arkansas. So Bentonville, Arkansas is last year you probably heard about this, but we went last year as well. But it's just like the mountain biking capital of the world, or of the United States, maybe.
Yeah.
Because there's Whistler, which is up in Whistler,
Yeah.
in Canada, but it's wonderful. It was a wonderful time. We put like 40 something miles in, almost 50 miles in 3 days, trail riding, like jumps and downhill and stuff. And just had a wonderful time. And took the whole family, like the entire house went. We had someone watch the dogs. We were just like out.
Nice.
So it was good. It was nice and relaxing. I kind of basically just turned my phone off.
Yeah.
Didn't really respond to anybody or text anybody. Like there was a few people that I, chatted with, but for the most part, I just left the thing at home and went riding. So it was really enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable.
Cool.
But it motivated me to sign up for the Rattler again.
Yeah.
The Austin Rattler in November. So I'm officially signed up now. I was saying that I was signed up, but now I'm like official. I got the registration done. So I'm going to go ride the Austin Rattler. And there's a couple cool courses in Waco that I know I can go play.
Yeah.
Which is real close to Austin.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah. But I think outside of that, let's get into the disc golf stuff.
Disc golf.
What do we got? So we got KJ coming back onto the scene
Yep.
with a go throw. So the Persimmon Ridge, right?
Persimmon
Ridge Open?
Championship. Yeah.
Oh,
Open
championship?
Yeah, Persimmon Ridge Open Championship.
Okay.
Is what it's called.
That's
a lot.
And it's a go throw tournament.
Yep. Second of the tour. Mm-hmm. Weather was way better this time for them.
Yeah. God, how horrible is that your first tour? Like you get that, like the
Right.
horrible weather that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Persimmon Ridge used to be a tour stop, didn't it?
I'm trying to think. Because they definitely played it last year on Skins. I thought it was at some point.
I thought it was like one of those temporary stops when they were redoing the whole NADGT, if I remember right. Or not, the PDGA was doing the new. Sorry, I'm pulling it up. See if I can find that information out. But nevertheless, we got good old KJ USA showing up out of absolutely nowhere. Haven't even seen him on coverage in
Right.
years,
Yeah.
literally years. And he comes out of nowhere and just like kills it. So that's great. And then Kristen Tatar, well, no, I won't talk about, because this wasn't this year. I just want to talk about Kristen Tatar in the next tournament, but I just got a little ahead of myself. So who was on the FPO side?
The
did we-
Oh, I saw it before because I had just brought... The FPO side didn't have that big of a field. Hold on just a second. Jennifer Smiley beat out Nina Guerrero, Emily Weatherman, Taylor Chosick, Abigail Wilson, Deanne Carey, Eliezra Midling, Kate Rugg, and Jennifer Bussey. I didn't see... I watched I watched MPO coverage for Go Throw on their channel and Ace Run Productions. And Ace Run actually had Calvin and Gannon do their feature card
Okay.
commentary. And at first I was like, okay, this is going a little awkward. Like Calvin didn't sound like he was into it, but that's just the way Calvin kind of sounds, and Gannon.
Yeah.
But what I appreciate, because Luke and Paul Oman do Go Throws, and Luke's tour director. I don't know if Paul... I gotta check real quick. I don't know if Paul played this one. This tournament.
Paul Uleberry and Macbeth.
Oman?
Oh, Omen.
Paul.
Okay. Okay. Tall ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just check real quick. But so yeah, they were doing it. But what was interesting with Gannon and no, it doesn't look like he played this one. What was interesting with Gannon and Calvin is they did like more of a hole by hole breakdown of what they did during the tournament.
Okay.
So you would hear them, they would get to, a hole. And so Gannon was actually on Ace Pro's first round feature. And he was talking a lot about what each player did on the card, and then what he did, and like selection as far as like discs and how to throw. He's like, oh yeah, this hole had like a whipping headwind, so I did this, and then they threw this, and landed here, and like did all this stuff, and then there's just like funny banter back and forth between Calvin and Gannon and Noel that like, I appreciated.
Yeah,
It was pretty good. And then final round coverage, because it's only 2 days, was really good. The back nine was really interesting because it was really tight between everybody. Zach Nash, Noah Meinsma, KJ, and AJ Carey.
Okay.
AJ Carey kind of fell off a little bit. Like he played so-so, like pretty average golf, but the last, I would say 3 to 4 holes, Noah Meinsma had a lead going in, and kind of fell apart a little bit. KJ ended up birdieing 4 of the last 5. Oh, Sullivan Tipton. That's who it was.
Okay.
AJ was on the first round. It was Sully, KJ, Noah Meinsma, and Zach Nash. And Zach Nash absolutely bombs a disc.
Throws, yeah.
Luke Humphreys was talking about on Tech Disc, he has a 1900 RPM spin rate.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So hole 2, he threw this. Jeez. It's 584 feet, and most players are going off to the right of the hole because there's the trees that kind of split. He threw this absolute bomb, like 540 feet. Landed on. It's an elevated basket. Landed on the green for an eagle look, on a par 4. Most guys were, within maybe 50 feet, 60 feet of this, but going for birdies, and he was going for an eagle look.
Jeez, and did he get it?
No, he didn't get it. He ended up short. And so having this amount of spin on his disc, though, his discs were carrying a lot, and it got him in trouble because he was going long on some holes, some hard skips, OB here and there. But overall, I was really impressed with how he threw the disc. And then it was just like neck and neck between everybody. Like Sullivan Tipton was really close. He was catching up to Noah Meinsma. They were all like 15, 16 down at one point with KJ as well. And then it came down pretty much to Noah was kind of out of it by hole 17. And then Sully and KJ had a battle on 18. Sullivan actually ended up he threw what happened? KJ threw out of bounds his first shot. So he ended up having to, or was it second shot? Because they threw down, because it's like 800 some feet. So go down fairway, and then you throw across this like creek to water to an island green. So KJ ended up trying to throw a hyzer into the island, ended up missing it. So he had to come back, throw across again. He ended up parking the basket like 10 feet away. Sullivan Tipton ended up throwing his second shot onto the island, could have thrown in for birdie, ended up missing that one. So it came down to him and KJ, and if he would have made his bogey putt, and KJ made his, they would have gone to a playoff, and he ended up missing it. It kind of like...
He was on the island in 2?
He was on the island in 2, missed his birdie putt. He kind of had he was a little lower on the island and had to kind of come up at it. So he ends up hit not really airballing it, but just kind of sailed it and hit some chains, I think, is what I remember. Lands to the back, the right side of the basket, which would be and then he had it another kind of uphill and ends up missing it. And KJ just chucked it in and ended up winning by a stroke. So 18 down to 17 down.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, good for KJ, but man, sucks for...
I know. Sully could have had it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really exciting back nine to watch. The whole tournament was really good, actually. That's a really good course for an old golf course. And the beginning of the...
And it's on a resort, too, so there's, lodging and all that fun stuff out that way.
I think so, yeah. And this, they did a nice job of telling the story of the couple that ended up buying Persimmon Ridge. They bought it, and then they put a couple baskets out to get their family to come and, come to the property and do stuff. And then they're like, well, why don't we just turn this into a full-fledged
Just
course?
golf course, yeah.
Yeah. And that's how it ended up to be.
Well, that's awesome. And so we have $10,000 added cash. I'm kind of going through the stats of it.
Okay.
So $10,000 added cash, and the buy-ins, the entry fees, the highest at MPO was $200.
$200?
All the opens, $200.
Wow.
$10,000 added cash, $200 buy-in is the highest.
Yeah.
And then you go to like the mixed pros, like the aged pros, 150.
Okay.
And then you go into the AMs, any of the AMs, 110. And then you get into juniors and it's $90.
Okay.
And there's a $10,000 added cash. I don't know exact, and that's a 2-day event.
It's a 2-day event.
2-day event, $10,000 added cash.
Not to mention all the other stuff they have going on with it. They have the skins is there, the Beat the Pros thing, is going on.
Nuts. Yeah. So course open and practice on Monday. They have like the whole schedule here.
Yeah.
Birdie or Die Best Pro Qualifier.
Okay.
So top 20 qualifiers. They have Beat the Pros.
Yep.
Against 4 pros to win $10,000. Course of play for PR. OTB Tour Series skins, and then player signings and socials. That's all on Friday, and then tournament with a fly mart and a DJ, and then Sunday is final round with the award ceremony. I mean, wow! Like as long as it all goes off pretty darn well, that's phenomenal.
For an award, they get a chain, like a go throw chain.
Oh, neat!
Yeah,
neat.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing, primitive campsites were available for $10 a night. I mean, there's some really cool stuff. Like, they're doing some good stuff. It looks like it's affordable. They're rewarding the players pretty darn well.
KJ made $3,600.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and then let's see, FPO. Oh, they don't have the payout for FPO.
Wow.
So I don't know what they made, but yeah, second place, Calvin, Gannon, and Sully all tied, and they got almost $1,500 a piece.
Jeez, that's great.
Yeah,
that's good. That's fantastic. And this is all they're not big yet. This is their very first year, so hopefully it continues to grow. I mean, it looks like they're doing some really cool stuff. So I don't know.
Well, and other big news for Go Throw this week was that Prodigy announced that they would be the sponsor of the tour. So, I mean, it makes sense. You're going to go and I would kind of, at this point, Luke is their biggest
for sure.
MPO star for sure. Mm-hmm. So it only makes sense that they would go in and help sponsor that. And I think Luke said that they also have some discs, Go Throw discs through
they do, yeah.
Prodigy as well.
Well, so they do have a shop.
Yeah.
They have the Go Throw shop, and they have the apparel and all that fun stuff. I mean, I know they're doing well, I guess, but they do still have some AVRs and all those fun type of things too.
Okay.
Yeah. So they do have a leaderboard, and Gannon Burr is currently the leader, but it does not have the Persimmon Ridge as updated yet.
Oh, really?
As far as
Because I have the overall. There's an overall leaderboard.
Yeah, that's what I looked at. Is Gannon still on it?
Yeah, he's number 1.
And is that with Persimmon Ridge? I think that's just
the Hideaway.
Yeah, I think it's just
Interesting.
Hideaway on there.
Okay, because I thought it updated. I wasn't sure if it was everything yet. Interesting. Yeah, but he's leading currently kind of Emerson and Raven Newsom.
Yeah, that's
Nicholas.
what I saw.
So maybe it hasn't updated. I don't know how often they do that or not, but 1,000 points.
Yeah, it was like 1065 is Gannon's right now. So I'm wondering the social media and all that stuff where those adding points and all that. So we'll see if it's like a whose line it is anyways.
And there's points for you get points for Eagles and other stuff too. So it's interesting. I'll definitely be interested to see how many points it is at the end of the season.
Because that's one event and 1065. That's nuts. So,
and they don't have a FPO leaderboard at this time. It's just MPO. It looks like.
Their website is garbage. That's the one bad thing I have to say so far.
It is, yeah.
Their website's coverage.
They have come under a lot of scrutiny on Reddit for that.
Oh, so bad.
So before I was just on the computer and I had to look it up on the phone, and I was like, oh, I'll just look up the leaderboard. And immediately when I opened the page, I was on the tour leaderboard and it brought up the Persimmon Ridge U-Disc. And I was like, I didn't click on that. And I was just trying to scroll down and it wouldn't get off the page. I was like, oh, this is garbage. So yeah, luckily it pulled up on the phone and you got it up on the phone. But yeah, it's not very intuitive to use at all.
So this one is, Jonesboro is the next one that we're going to talk about. And Jonesboro happened.
Open.
And Jonesboro Open, also 10,000 added cash. But
Dang.
it is a PDGA.
It is
sanctioned event. And at this side of heaven, which I guess it always is. So
they did add 9 new holes to the course.
Oh, they did. Okay.
On the property. Yep. So over the two rounds, they actually played 27 holes each day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. So for her 100th win, Kirsten Tartar, this Lat lady.
Yeah.
So Kristen Lat, she was on another planet.
Yes.
There's no way she was on the same course as everybody else. Can I say that out loud?
Yes, absolutely. You can absolutely say that.
And there's no slouches in this tournament. I mean, these ladies are good. I mean, Silva Sarnen, Rebecca Cox, Kat Merch. And Rebecca Cox is absolutely on fire this year so far.
She's been playing great.
Kat Merch, Katrina Allen, there's Maria Oliva sitting there. I mean, Carrie Teku, really decent players, good players, top end players. She won the tournament by 23 strokes.
Yeah.
23 strokes.
And she set the record for FPO round rating, number 1 rating in history at, I think, officially
1034.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And overall event rating too. It was a 1030 or something like that. 1030 and a half, I think, is what PDGA had put on Instagram. So
yeah, she had
that's unbelievable.
A 1034 and then a 1027. So yeah, averages it out to 1031, right? Well, 1030 and a half or something like that.
Yeah, that's I think what they had put. That's insane.
That's nuts, man. That is nuts. I still don't understand. There's no way they were on the same course. Just.
Well, I know somebody has. There is Jonesboro coverage. I saw it on YouTube. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I forgot who has it. So I'll have to go check it out later. Let's see. I know for sure that it was MPO. I don't know if it was FPO, but. Unreal. It
is. And I know they didn't play the same, but I mean, Tatar is Lat is putting up the same numbers as the men.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Right.
If she was she would have been solo 4th in the MPO.
So round 1, she, like you said, 1034. She was up by 9 on Rebecca Cox. And then round 2, 12 down. It's just unreal. And Rebecca finished at even, so she shot +4, and then Silva was at 2 down for the tournament with 3 down for the round. That is just yeah.
She was playing on a different level for sure. So Kat Merch came in at 4th at 4 down or 4 over. Rebecca Cox came in even at 3rd. Silva Sarnen 2 down total at 2nd, and then Tatar -25. 25 down for 1st, taking in a cool $1,540. So $1,540. There you go.
Okay.
And then MPO. So had some good names out there, but Ben Calloway of all people takes it down at 29 down through the round. And the Goose Man, Aaron Gossage, came in second. That's 27 down. And then Vinyl Makala came in at 22 down at third. And then Jesse Nieminen, I think I said it right.
Yeah.
Came in 20 down. So, and decent names there. Like none of the, we'll say the elite players there. You know, they're probably A tier, but not the
Like
not the elites.
Corey Ellis,
Yeah.
Nathan Queen, Parker Welk. I mean, yeah, there's some pretty decent
Silver
competition.
Lat was there.
Yeah.
Dude, his wife stomped him. We should start taking a tally of who wins.
It's not even fair.
Why not?
That's not fair.
We just do it by total.
Okay.
Because, you know, the ladies' ratings the ladies' scores are usually lower than the men's.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if Silver we'll just keep a running tally of how many down throughout the season they are.
Okay. That would be interesting.
It would be fun to see. So yeah,
The lat match.
the lat match. Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. There was the Jonesboro. Always fantastic. And I've seen coverage too because I saw some Instagram footage of it as well. So it's good. And let's see. Betting on disc golf is officially a reality. So JP had to do a little digging on this because
did have to do some
it is
digging.
April 1st.
It is.
And for those of you that are unaware of what April 1st means, it means haha gotcha
Right.
with everything.
There was a lot of haha gotcha.
There was a lot out there, and some were really convincing and some were not.
Yes. And this one seemed like it would be a very convincing
Yes.
April Fool's joke. But according to Reddit, I was just looking through disc golf news and it popped up that daily fantasy and quote unquote legalized gaming will now be official through NextBet, which is a daily fantasy and basically sports gambling.
Yeah. And now this isn't the first time because who was it? Brody did it. What was the ones Brody and the foundation guys did it and had them through. It only lasted for 2 months.
I don't remember who it was.
It's one of the big betting sites.
Okay.
But they had it for a little bit, the whatever site that was. So it's not the first time, but we'll see if this one sticks around.
Yeah. So, there was an official announcement on PDGA today that starting this weekend at Music City Open, disc golf fans will have the opportunity to engage in various gaming opportunities, including daily fantasy and regulated sports wagering. Fans can visit nextbets.com/DGPT to view available gaming opportunities in their locations and learn about how to play DFS and legal sports betting on DGPT events. Regulatory approval at the state level is required. It's jurisdiction, some legal stuff there. Jeff Spring, tour director and CEO, quotes, "We know that for many sports fans, participating in daily fantasy or wagering is part of how they connect with competition. We're excited to see sportsbooks and other gaming platforms open these opportunities to disc golf fans in a way that is aligned with our values of transparency and accountability for all involved. By ensuring these offerings are hosted in a secure and regulated environment, the DGPT is focusing on integrity, player education, and compliance. So we're excited about new ways for fans to engage in the sport, expanding the reach of disc golf, and ensuring that players and events are supported by clear policies and strong safeguards." Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of stuff about gambling rules and things for PDGA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the participants, like the players themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Pretty wild.
That is neat. So I like it because I think sports betting is fun. I don't do it because I suck at it. Anytime I've ever gone to Vegas, I always go and bet $100 and I lose it. I do it as kind of I'm just paying to have fun, but I know a lot of people do really well with sports betting. I think there's an addiction factor there that people have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Because it is really easy to just click a button on your phone and watch $100 go away, you know?
Very much so.
Because think about how much Amazon sucks your money.
Oh, yeah.
And at least you get a satisfying knock or ding dong on your door, and you at least get to know the UPS and FedEx guys by name, and you get gift cards and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get people like JP delivering stuff to you now because UPS doesn't have the main contract anymore, right?
Right.
For Amazon.
I mean, they do still do some stuff, but for the
Yeah.
most part, we deliver a lot.
Yeah. So, so I would say just be careful. I don't have any issues in the world with it. Like, you do what you want with your money. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's illegal in your state, have fun.
I mean, people do it. They're doing it with football.
Everything.
I think what some people out there might worry about is the potential for quote unquote point shaving, or something like
It's true.
that. You
Yeah,
know,
it's true.
But I don't.
With gambling, that's always a possibility.
It is.
Always a possibility. But is disc golf really going to pull that much money that a guy is going to? Let's just throw it out there. Gannon Burr is going to throw a $15,000 tournament so he can get 10% of someone's winnings of a couple $100,
Yeah, right.
If there's someone out there betting tens of thousands of dollars, maybe, but who's out there betting on disc golf tens of thousands of dollars?
Well, that's what I want to know.
Exactly. And if you're betting tens of thousands of dollars in disc golf, why are you not doing something more
The
productive
guy
with
that
it?
owns Eagles Crossing.
Oh, true. How do you think he bought Eagles Crossing?
Right.
Maybe he won it. Some poor farmer's like, I'll bet you.
Right. I don't know. I haven't gone on the next bet thing to look or sign up or whatever, because I'm just curious about, obviously with daily fantasy, you're going to be able to get, anybody that's played regular fantasy football or anything, or even daily fantasy with football and stuff, you're going to accumulate your points and do stuff that way. But who's like line setting as far as betting? How,
Chad GTP.
right. Who's setting these lines? Who's making these odds that, okay, well, you could say Simon Lizotte has won this tournament the last 2 years and is a 3-time winner. Does that make him the favorite? Or do you go with somebody that's currently in the lead for the DGPT? Like, how do you go course by course?
Yeah.
I mean,
You have to have someone that knows disc golf intimately in order to set those lines, I would assume.
I would think so too.
Because we don't have robust enough stats to just pull up an Excel and, and make some lines. Like, we don't have those type of stats
Right.
per course. I mean, we have those stats, but it's, it's like circle one and regulation. We have those type of things. But even now that UDisc is out, like, those stats are going to the wayside again, but I guess there's Statmando.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Are they using Statmando's information, or, there's disc golf stats now too.
Right.
Is it like, are there other people that they're pulling that information from?
That's a good question.
And can you set it that way? But that's amazingly deceiving because disc golf stats are so minimal. I mean, it doesn't take into account for distance of putts. It doesn't take, it just says there's a bullseye, a circle 1X, and circle 2. And that's it. Like, you don't have anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are putting from 100, 115, 120. So I feel like our stats are incomplete to give true awesome lines. So I feel like it has to be someone within the organization that is a disc golf fanatic and was like, come on, boss, let's do this. Let's try it.
So these are the states that it says, where can I bet on Disc Golf Pro Tour in North America? Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Oregon, Nevada in casino only.
Okay.
Canada, including Ontario, and then Mexico. We are currently working with DGPT and sportsbooks to getting approval for Disc Golf Pro Tour. Then you can bet internationally in a bunch of different countries: Argentina, Australia, Chile, Cyprus, Denmark, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Greece, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Peru, Switzerland, United Kingdom. And then you can play daily fantasy pretty much in every state, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not the big deal. It's the actual, like,
The
betting part. Yep.
Yep. The fantasy's neat. I like the fantasy. But we already have a fantasy. We already have a couple fantasy leagues for disc golf.
Right. There's the one that we did with, what was it?
Smash Boxes.
Yeah, Smash Boxes,
yeah.
whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, we did that.
Ace Time? No.
It was something, Skip Ace.
Skip Ace. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
then there is another one out there now
there is another one.
as well.
I did one. It was a weird, I did it for one season. I don't know if it's still going on. It was like you pay $10 and you can join a league with a pro. And I remember I joined Erica Stinchcomb's league. So you pay this $10. And what happened was it basically, if you beat the pro throughout the season, you end up winning some kind of prize or something like that.
Okay.
Or if you come in first place, you end up getting something extra along with beating.
Sure.
I'm sure it was like a disc or something.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the lead for a little while, and then I got screwed because I got Ricky for a tournament, and I ended up selling him. Or no, I ended up buying him twice on accident somehow. And I sold him, and then I lost a ton of money on him for selling him. And it screwed my season. And I was like, well, this was some kind of error. I shouldn't have had him twice. So I was just trying to put him back.
Get rid of him, yeah.
Yeah. And it basically set me back, and I never checked it again. I was so mad. And I emailed them about it and all this stuff, and no contact whatsoever. So, I mean, not the biggest deal in the world, but it just...
It ruined the experience.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
ruined the experience. Yeah, no, I get that. And if you if you're trying to do these things and get the reward and all that stuff, and something like that happens, it kind of ruins the experience. So I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, would you bet if it becomes available in Wisconsin?
No.
I wouldn't either.
No.
So I'm curious.
Yeah.
Curious if any of our active listeners would, if it's in their state and they would actually participate in the betting of disc golf.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's so fluky. Disc golf is, I mean,
it is.
Gone is the days of Ricky or Paul. Mm-hmm. Like, so, man, it's so fluky.
It is. I mean, I feel sure bet would be Kristen at this point.
Right.
You know,
Yes,
like that's an absolute.
But what are you going to win? Your money back?
Yeah. Right. Like Charlie Eisenhood posted something on Reddit. It did have a picture of, let me just find it real quick because there's a disc golf circle jerk.
That's an amazing name.
Yep, it sure is.
Did I hear something about the disc golf podcast coming back?
Really? Okay, so there is betting odds for, and this was he must have gotten a screenshot or something from Foundation, that there is betting odds. Kristen currently is plus 134. Gannon is plus 166. Those are the betting odd favorites.
134 and 166 means if you put, essentially if you put $100, you would get 34.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And then Calvin is after Gannon. He's plus 705. Owen is plus 323. So you'd be making
$223 on Owen.
Yeah,
you'd be making, okay.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So if you bet, on Calvin, if you bet $100,
you'd win 605.
You would get the $700 and some dollars back. So you get $605 back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, those are pretty good odds.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
but to bet on Kristen, just make $34? Sure.
So yeah, originally, Foundation got it from Ultiworld.
Okay.
So that's why he was posting it. Charlie was. Crazy to me.
Yeah. But it is, I mean, that is it's like betting on NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know, it's so hard to pick the winners of NASCAR. You know, I mean, there's certain like other bets you can play on NASCAR where like make it tell there's so many laps or do, you know, be in this position at this point, or, you know, you can play those games. But with disc golf, just picking a straight up winner, man, that's hard. That's hard. Like when we pick, we get close, but we never nail it.
No,
Never, ever.
never.
Nail it. Never. Very few times. Very few times. And we keep up on disc golf. So,
Right.
all right.
I don't know. Yeah.
So there you go. Disc golfing and betting. It is coming to life once more. Let's see how long it stays. Okay. Random question. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were to be in a TV show, what TV show would it be? It could be any TV show.
Oh, wow.
Any TV show.
That's interesting.
If you were to be
Saved by the Bell.
why?
Just,
Because of Kelly?
yeah.
Yeah. Or is it Lisa? Which one were you for?
I don't know.
Dude, speaking of Saved by the Bell, just real quick, Diamond Dallas or whatever his name is,
Dustin
Diamond. There you
Diamond.
go. He's been all over my feed for some reason.
He's dead.
Well, I know he's dead.
okay.
Like he did, like a long time ago. Well, not
Couple
a long
years
time
ago.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
But he's been all over my feed for some
Weird.
reason. Yeah, like all these like Zach talks about like all these
actually,
things.
it's weird because that popped up on my YouTube feed the other day. It was a interview with Mark Paul Gosselaar, who was
Yes.
Zach, and it was him talking to somebody about how they weren't close and
Right.
or something. I was like, this is so random. Why is this popping up?
It is, and that was the same one that I was just like, what in the world? But yeah, and I've told my story on here about Dustin Diamond standing behind him in Target, and his card got declined, and I'm sitting there like, he's Screech. How can his card get declined? You know, like
Right.
But
He's from Wisconsin, which
Yeah,
or he was
Washington.
from, yeah.
yeah. So when I was in college, I saw him quite a bit. Like when I say quite a bit, I mean like probably saw him 4 times in my life.
Okay, but still,
But
that's
just, yeah.
more than you would.
It
ever
was a
think.
lot.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, dude, that's Screech, and we'd never say anything to him. And when I was standing behind him in line, he even did this whole thing where he was like, after his thing declined, he looked back at him and he goes, I guess it happens. It was something weird. And he was standing with us at absolute smoke show of a lady. And it was like, it almost she looked bought. That makes any sense? You know, like she was
Yeah.
paid for?
Okay.
I don't no assumptions.
no.
But a little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah. So, all right. Okay. So just Saved by the Bell, just nostalgia.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it just one that show Saturday mornings. You wake up. It's funny because NBC had a lot of shows that was kind of like Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
They had like Family Matters. They had like, it was that whole like run at night too. Those 4 shows. It was like,
oh yeah, that was on ABC, like the TGIF.
yeah, TGIF. Yeah.
Actually, family. Like you brought up Family Matters, like Fresh Prince. Like I just saw a picture today or yesterday of all these great TV dads. It was like Uncle Phil, Officer Winslow,
Yeah.
John Goodman, you know, in Roseanne.
Yes.
Ed O'Neill from Married with Children. Like Danny Tanner, like all the guys from
Yeah.
Full House and everything. It was just like, I was like, wow, these are just people I grew up with watching. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny because I love watching kind of the old school sitcoms because men were still men. Does that make any sense? Like, okay, this is okay. I got to be careful with the political climate. I'm not talking about like trans and stuff. I'm talking like manly men. Like men weren't made out to be just these big oafs and doofuses.
Oh, sure.
And they can't do anything. I mean, it started to happen then, but like, I mean, you talk about like Winslow was like a cop.
Right.
Like, you know, he was like this hardcore cop, a disciplinarian, like, but he still was a good family loving man, you know? And so I kind of like a lot of that stuff. Al Bundy was kind of he was a doofus.
He was a misogynist big time too.
Absolutely. He was a doofus. But it was just fun to watch. Like you
Yeah.
said that. I'm going through all these people in my mind. I'm like, yeah. You know, and was Danny Tanner was the goofy one. He was the sound
No, that was Joey.
Joey, that's right.
Yeah.
Joey. I love
Uncle Joey.
Uncle Joey was hilarious.
Yeah.
Danny was Bob Saget.
Yeah. And
Okay.
he was the girl's actual dad. Then there was John
Yeah.
Stamos and
They lived
Dave
upstairs.
Yeah, one of them lived in the basement, one of them
Lived
lived
in the attic, yeah.
Yeah.
With Rebecca.
Yes.
Yes, Rebecca. Okay,
And
so
the other show would probably be Seinfeld.
oh, that would be good too.
Yeah.
Dude, I would like to just have coffee in a car with Jerry. I would love to just have coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. I think it'd be fantastic. Okay, who would I choose? See, I didn't prep this, and I always should have these in my mind.
No, because it's random. It
is. All right, so going back in my time. So I think I would have liked to have been. You ever watch Friday Night Lights?
Not so much. I saw the movie.
Yeah.
But I know there was a TV show.
And it was a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's just more of a kid playing football.
Yeah.
Kind of that whole big time, I think that would be fun. I would say Fresh Prince, but after the whole slapping Chris Rock thing, I just don't like Will Smith anymore.
Okay.
That whole no man should ever have the right to just walk up and smack another man,
True.
with no consequence. So I am just but Fresh Prince would be awesome. Come on, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, Uncle Phil. What was the butler's name?
Jeffrey.
Stupid. And having Jeffrey, I thought Jeffrey was awesome.
He did have some good quips every once in a while.
He did. And towards the end, when he walked at the one of the last episodes where he leaves and Will's crying like crazy.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey's that was too bad. Anyways, the only other one that I would think of, do you ever watch Everybody Loves Raymond?
A little bit.
With Ray Romano?
I've seen a bit of it. So there's shows out there that people absolutely love. I feel like that's one of them. The Office. Never seen it.
You never have, really?
Never sat down and watched an episode. I watched Parks and Rec, but I never I've seen clips here and there of The Office. Mm-hmm. And just never got into it.
Parks and Recs, man, maybe I should change my answer because that might be one of my favorite TV shows. Parks and Rec. It was awesome. Community was another one.
Yeah, Community's good.
Loved that show as well.
I watched that.
Oh, dang. See, now I'm starting to think of some ones that are really good. So I was never an Office guy either. Everybody talked about The Office, and I think it's one of those where it was like Game of Thrones almost, where I held on for so long that I was just like, no, I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah.
But then when I did watch it, I watched every single one of them. But but it was one of those The Office. Everybody talk about The Office, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to watch The Office. And now I maybe watch 10 episodes at most.
Okay.
You know? And when people have this Office reference, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. I don't.
Well, it's like that. I haven't watched Breaking Bad.
Okay, I watched maybe the first season, and that was it.
It's on my list to watch, but I haven't watched it at all. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get around to it at some
You did
point.
Game of Thrones though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I've met anybody that hasn't watched Game of Thrones yet.
There's people out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's good, and if you haven't, you should. And I'm no peer pressure, but
The last season's not. Well, I don't want to say it, but last season's kind of.
yeah.
But,
Or are you talking the newest stuff, or the last season of?
no, the last season
The
of Game
actual-
of Thrones. Not the House of
Yeah.
Dragons. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that at all, but yeah, Game of Thrones is kind of like.
Well, they shut the doors so quick. You know what I mean? They close it out so quick. I loved it. It was still really good. It's fine. I mean, you know me, it's probably garbage, but I still liked it.
No.
It was entertaining.
It is. I just think compared to other seasons of stuff going on, compared to the last season, it just doesn't hold up quite as much as.
Right.
And maybe that's because it's the last season.
Dude, the first season was mind blowing for me because you fall in love with somebody and then they're gone, and then you fall in love with another person and they're gone, and I'm just like, dude, can we keep some characters here?
Absolutely.
Seriously? Oh, it was, but that's what kind of hooked me because I'm like, okay, is this guy gonna die? Son of a okay, I like that guy. Come on,
Right.
Where did that person go? It was really good. Anyways, watching any new movies or anything recently?
Did I? New movies. No, I don't think I did.
No. All right.
No.
Any updates on the new project?
Still workshopping some things.
Okay.
I was going to actually... I almost thought about reaching out to some guests this weekend, but I didn't.
Almost thought about it.
Well, no, like I was. And yeah, no, I thought about it. I just didn't pull the trigger.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel weird doing that, but it has to be done.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it does. It does. I mean, if we can if you want help, like running through some questions and stuff, we should. And then,
Yeah, I think that, we should definitely get some things nailed down. I think that'll help.
Okay.
with, like reaching out to people.
push it forward. Okay. And then I got a confirmation that there is action on the discussion and idea moving forward with Matt
Oh, nice.
and his podcast.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
So that
Because
might-
he kind of mentioned something. He wants to set up his office as like a space to do stuff there. I was like, that's a really good idea.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. And I think it's a beautiful place for it. And if he can, do some podcasts there, and, if we get pros that come in or something like that, he can probably sit down and like OTB does some stuff like that. Well, they used
Right.
to. I don't know if they still have their podcast.
I think they do.
Okay.
Was it called Jammin' with the Best?
I think, yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I think they might.
So, but that'd be cool too. But I know what they're talking about doing. I think it could go over pretty well.
Okay.
I think it could go over pretty well. Because there's going to be more disc reviews in that.
Yeah,
than what
he
they're
did mention
talking about.
that. Yep.
So, but outside of that, I won't say anything else.
Right on.
But with all that being said, so keep your eye out for some of those things. If you have any questions, recommendations, fun thoughts, fun questions, or thoughtful questions, let us know. By the way, do you have any thoughtful things to leave us on?
Stay hydrated, folks.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, yeah.
Headaches are serious.
Yeah. I got really bad leg cramps this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I wasn't hydrated, and I thought it was something more serious.
Was it while you were delivering mail?
No, but it was not while I was delivering mail. When I was in the office,
Oh, okay.
I got really bad leg cramps and a bad headache. Like I got lightheaded, and I thought, and it was happening for a couple of days. I thought I was drinking enough water and everything, and I ended up going to the hospital yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
On your wife's birthday? How dare you?
yeah. I got her worried.
Wow.
Yeah.
What they do? Just give you some salt pills and
No, because
IV?
I thought it was something completely different.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they do anything or just send you home?
They took blood work just to make sure everything was good, and it was, and had an ultrasound.
Really?
Yeah,
Insurance is gonna like you.
I know,
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad everything's
but everything's good.
all right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Drink water, and then you won't have to have an ultrasound.
Yeah,
Ultrasound?
yeah,
Talking like what they do for babies.
yeah. They did.
Did
on
you
my
think
legs.
you were pregnant? Oh,
No,
on your legs.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just checking.
Yeah.
So what they do on your legs? What did they think it was?
No, I thought it was a blood clot.
Oh yeah, those suck.
Yeah, so I was
Those
getting.
can be real dangerous.
I was just looking up symptoms, and
Oh, WebMD gotcha.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was thinking, it was like, okay, is like everything pumping fine and everything, and I had like a panic attack, so I was like, okay,
Ooh. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
and that was it.
That's real, man. When you get old, like,
Well, it is. Yeah,
well, so I get this time of year right now is stress. Like it's so much stress, and I always get tight chest when I get stressed. And every year I go into the doctor and I say, "Hey, I just want to make sure everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's fine."
yeah.
But I always check.
Well, yeah,
always
because
go
I
in.
don't feel fine.
No, and that's it. And so, yeah, I get it, man. Like it's crazy. So they put me on a mild high blood pressure, like a temporary medicine, just to bring my blood pressure down. And it's
Right.
not bad. Like I'm like 140/90 or something like that.
That's what I am.
It's nothing horrible. And they say it's like we can put you on it, but you can also stop eating crap. And then
Yeah, that's like, well, because that's so I get in and they took all my vitals and everything, and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, oxygen, good, heart rate, pretty normal. And then I was like, blood pressure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you sit there and go,
Yeah, and,
Yeah, you're trying
I'm
to
doing
slow it
breathing
down.
and like it starts coming down. I'm like, but then again, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I had my phone next to me. I like Google. I was like, "Is this blood pressure good?" And they're like, "This is stage 2 hypertension." I was like, "What?
Exactly.
No. And it's basically you're just like have like high, like sodium in your blood and stuff and all this. And I'm like, maybe lifestyle change is a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and it's just that old thing, And,
It is.
But it's scary though because high blood pressure. I mean, it's a good disc golf podcast here.
This is the medical portion of the podcast.
So tune in for all you old fogies out there. But high blood pressure is like it is the number one killer of men. Because what it does is it triggers so many other things, like your kidneys start to fail and all those like stupid things, strokes and blood clots, So, but with all that said, keep an eye on your blood pressure and keep it subpar. Pieces.